thank you so much for that insightful introduction about product discovery. It is going to be a difficult act for me to follow, but you and I are both passionate about product strategy and execution, and this is pretty exciting. So now that we have spoken about product strategy and the best practices for customer discovery, I would like to talk about execution. I see somebody asked a question. Um, yeah, so I'm going to take a live B2B product use case and walk you through the execution process step by step. Just as a disclaimer, this is not a product or a feature I have worked on and launched, but I thought for the purpose of this webinar, it is a great example, as all of us at some point or other have attended job interviews or have conducted interviews, and one of the challenging activities in that process is interview scheduling. In the next 20 minutes or so, I will walk you through the process of creating a roadmap and walk you through the requirements to release journey of an interview scheduler product. Okay, so let's talk about some of the fundamental questions that we need to answer to develop an effective product roadmap. So there are three main questions that you have to have answers for. One is the first one is what is included. The second is who did you get the requirements from, and the third is how do you prioritize. If you have a mix of these three, if you have answered these three questions effectively, you have a very effective and good roadmap for your product. So what is included? This is a repeat of what Naren mentioned in his first slide about three pillars of effective product strategy. The roadmap should have a healthy mix of all three. You cannot over-index on any one of these. If you focus too much on customer enhancements, you turn your company into a feature factory and keep adding feature after feature to your product. It does not help you differentiate or grow revenue or market share. Second is if you focus too much on competitive feature parity, your product will always be catching up. You will never be able to differentiate. All you do is catch up to your competition, and like Naren mentioned, what that leads to is a point where you can only differentiate based on cost, and that's not where you want to be. And then the third is if you focus only on the game changers or the innovation, your product will result in being looked at as just too out of touch with customers and the market. So there is you have to keep in mind that a good mix of all three is what makes a good roadmap. So keep that in mind, and we'll go through some as in my live example. I'll talk about how features could be split amongst these three categories of or amongst these three pillars of product strategy.